Hi, I know that it took a long time to get this all figured out, but, um, technical issues and the fact that, I'm not allowed anything more than a Chromebook for at least another year, means that I can't do a majority of things that I would like to. So instead, I'm here in a heated blanket because surprisingly, in Idaho, it gets cold. Yeah, anyways, I have the rest of my cold coffee. Still good. Um, and because I'm recording from my phone, I just have my computer with the asks up, and I'm just gonna kind of go through some of them, and I think I might just like what is the word for what's the word? Post. I might just post them and then make it kind of like a throughout the day if any of you guys have any other burning questions, which I doubt. I answer a lot of things because I don't think. But anyways, super long introduction, so we're just gonna start. I'm just gonna start answering questions, because I got 900 followers, and that's kind of weird, and I don't understand it, but it's cool. So, all of these except for one are anonymous. So I'll start with the one who's not anonymous. At the 17th meatball, who I remember you said that you had just gotten to 100, so congrats on that. Asked what my favorite holiday was. It's Halloween. It's has the best movies. I have pumpkins. Pumpkin spice chocolate almonds are a thing, and those are some of the most addicting things that I've ever had. Like, they're probably one of the best not healthy snack foods that I've ever had in my lifetime of 16 years. And we have Kinsey Peak this year, which is the skeleton project that I started working on. My dad had got a skeleton during December last year. It's either November or December. And he's kind of been my project where I just kind of put clothes on him. So yeah, that is my favorite holiday, and again, happy 100 followers. I'm really proud of you. Anonymous says, how do you drink your coffee or tea if you don't drink coffee? I'm gonna start with tea because that's the easiest one to explain. Lots of sugar. I have a rampant sweet tooth. Or to put it better, because I love salty things more than I love sweet. I don't like things that taste bitter or taste like they'd have a texture of mushrooms, which is a very weird taste and is very specific to me, and no one I've ever talked to understands it, but I can't handle the taste and texture of mushrooms. So if something tastes like the texture of mushrooms feels, I can't handle it. And that's what a lot of teas are like, where it's just kind of like it's that mushroom texture taste, but it doesn't taste like mushrooms. That doesn't make sense, but that's how it works in my head. Coffee, I have usually half and half or heavy whipping cream, because that's usually what we have. And then we have a restaurant supply store, so we get a lot of sugar-free flavorings. So I usually like to put in like caramel or toffee or cookie dough or butterscotch, anything kind of in that sort of vein of flavorings, because I just kind of like how they taste anyways. So I usually put that, and then I have like a butterscotch dark roast coffee. It's good. But if I'm getting it from any place that isn't Flying In, which is a local coffee shop here. It's a mocha at Flying M. It's a white mocha because their white mochas aren't super sweet, and I really like that. It kind of has a more nutty taste, and that is super good. So yeah, that's how I take my coffee and tea. I started to combine those and was like, that's how I like my toffee. That's not a drink. I think. Can you make toffee into a drink? I'll figure that out later. Favorite food to cook is super easy. I love making risotto just because it's a half an hour to an hour of me in a kitchen over a pan of rice, either vegetable or chicken broth, depending on if I'm making it for my grandma or not, because my grandma's pescatarian. She only eats fish as a protein. And cheese. It's just fun to make. And usually I have like a glass of water and music playing, and it's my happy place. Favorite tourist attraction I'd like to visit. What's it called? Because I visited a lot of the places that I've really wanted to see. What is it called? I can't remember. But my mom went there, and it's in Louisiana. I think it's in New Orleans, because she went there for a job thing when she was a educational coach, and I don't know what she did during those, but I do know that she had a lot of meetings with other educational coaches. But apparently, like, there's ghosts and stuff, and I just like I like to hear about places that are haunted. I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that my dad is 100% like a cryptid dude. I watched a lot of Finding Bigfoot and ghost hunting shows as a kid, so that's just part of who I am. So that would be that. And then favorite time of day, between 7 and 9, depending on whenever sunset is. So basically like sunset, I guess. And most of that is because when the sun is coming down in Idaho or Boise, specifically, because almost anywhere in Boise, if you face wherever the east, like directions, if you face east, you can see the Rockies, and those are foothills. Foothills are Rockies. And the sun setting just kind of lights them up, and it's so beautiful, especially in winter when they're covered in snow, and it's just breathtaking. And especially if you're in one of the, if you go up north, then you'll be able to see a lot of more of the sawtooths, which are made out of granite, so you can see all that, and those are just stunning at any point of time, but especially sunset. Alright, so next one is, what do I think of MCR Tumblr? I haven't actually been a part of MCR Tumblr in a while. I've kind of fallen out with the band a little bit. I still kind of listen to 2 songs. Take a while, take a guess on which ones. But, it's, when I was there, the area I was in had a lot of aces in it. So it was a lot of just like, oh, these people look really good. I like music analysis. So it was a lot of that, and I really enjoyed that kind of section of it, where it was young teens. A lot of them just happened to be ace. Just talking about either, oh, Gerard is gender goals, or Frank Iero pretty, or Ray Toro, god of a man, also gender goals, and also very pretty. or it was talking about like specifically their music. I remember seeing a lot of stuff of either like a lot of talk about Bray and how he's definitely underappreciated, which he is. He's probably one of the best vocalists and guitarists that I've heard in my life. And I say one of the best because I was exposed to a variety of music, so there are one or two guitarists and a lot of other vocalists I do personally prefer, but he's definitely talented. So a lot of talk of that, and I just really enjoyed that sort of more musical element of it. But then also there's the horny side, and I hated that with a burning passion. Mostly because my sex repulsion is super high, so 98% of the time, not 98%, it's more of like a 82% of the time, I can't handle highly sexual talk and jokes. Certain people have an exception, like if I'm really close to someone sometimes and I know they're joking, that's a very, I'm just getting into my own personal life. You didn't ask for that. Basically, it's pretty cool in certain in the right circles. Yeah. In others, not so much. So let's go. Okay. Opinions on my mutuals. All of my mutuals are amazing. I love them so much. I really do love all of my mutuals. They're all some of the coolest people I know, and they mean a lot to me. They're some of my really good friends. I feel comfortable being an idiot around them. Which is saying a lot because I usually am just seen as an idiot, so that's... Either I'm seen as an idiot and no one cares to talk to me, or I'm seen as the smart person and no one cares to talk to me. Either way, no one likes to talk to me, and these people do, and that means a lot to me. Alright, and these ones are from Bennett. I'm very excited for these. Favorite color, dark blue. It reminds me of the ocean. It's a very calming color. Reminds me of my eyes, because those are... they're one of the two things that I actually enjoy about myself. Yeah, I just like dark blue. My blackout curtains are also dark blue. They're just really pretty. Favorite flower, bleeding hearts. You can't see, but I have another window out there that faces out towards the road. And below them there used to be 2 bleeding heart bushes, and those were my favorite flowers. They had a very nice texture. They look amazing. Like it literally looks like a heart that's just bleeding. It's so cool. They just remind me of a better time when I was actually happy and I wasn't aware of the traumas that I had endured at that point. Good times, 5-year-old. Do I have a favorite game, phone or video game? Whichever, it doesn't matter. My favorite video game is Skyrim, because I am able to be whoever I want, and I can have an illegal marriage with an elf in the first town. Where when he died in my previous game, I'm tearing up right now, you can't really see, but I literally started crying because he died, and the children I had adopted were perfectly fine. But he had died, and I just started crying a lot. I make a lot of deep emotional bonds in that game. Yeah. Also my murder horse, whom I also care for deeply. And one time, I accidentally killed her by jumping off of a giant cliff that I didn't know was so high off the ground. And then if I had to choose any other game, I would probably choose 5 Crowns just because it's mildly enraging. But it's also really fun and funny. and sometimes you just accidentally forget that you have 7 cards in your hand and you drop a 7, which is a wild, and then you realize your mistake and your folly, and you cannot rectify it anymore. That's just always fun, because then everyone's just paused the game and is staring at the card. And they look and you're like, hey, are you okay? That games are always fun. Do I like Sanders sides? If you do, which one's your favorite side? I do really like Sanders sides. I haven't watched it in a while. My first side would actually be Remus, because he represents something that I didn't know about myself, and that is that I have really bad intrusive thoughts. So he has a lot of personal meaning to me, because that video in which he appears helped me figure out that I was not a bad person for imagining all these horrible things happening. So from a symbolic standpoint, him. My favorite side is actually, is it Virgil or Patton? Or Logan? I'm gonna have to say Logan, because as much as I love Virgil for being a little emo boy, and I do enjoy that, and Patton for having some of the best jokes, Logan brings some of the most interesting information to the table, and I really like learning things, and he brings up all these things that I just don't know, and then I learn more from him, and I just really enjoy that a lot. What's your favorite kind of candle or scent? I actually really like forest scents, or like very subtle nature scents. So, pine needles would be the first one, but also things that have to do with like, trees, or so very subtle, kind of earthy scents. And that's it. Thank you. If you have any other questions, I'll kind of be making videos throughout the day when I get free time.